Welcome to another edition of Backyard Beekeeping. This is the July 2015 update. We've got a little change of plan here. I split this hive on June 28th. And what I did was I allowed them to stay in those two deep boxes for a couple weeks past when my better judgment told me to add a honey box and reduce their congestion. They got to the point where they were so packed in there that they felt they had to build queen cells and start to swarm. And so I did. I kind of forced them to make queen cells, and in the course of a week they made 16 queen cells, which is just crazy. I check it every Sunday morning during swarm season, and because I cannot afford a swarm in my neighborhood like I had last year. That's just not cool. So on Sunday the 28th, I grabbed a frame. There was a single frame, had two capped queen cells in it, front and back, and it was full of brood and honey and a lot of bees, and it was awesome. So I dropped that in the nuke, and then I took four other frames that were full of honey and pollen and full of worker bees with no other queen cells, dropped that into the nuke. Now it's extremely important when you do that you identify exactly where your fertile and laying queen is in your hive, because if you goof it up and you inadvertently put your queen in your nuke, you're going to have issues. So I was exactly certain where she was in the hive, and I grabbed the other frames, and I was absolutely certain that they did not have the queen in there. So we'll see how she goes. What I've done here, if you see that silver screen that I put in between the second and third box, it's called a queen excluder. What that does is that is a narrowly spaced wires that does not allow the big queen or the drones up into the top box. So the only bees that can get into that top box to have access to those 9 frames are the honeybees. So there will be no brood, there will be no other organics contaminating the honey supply in that top box, which is pretty cool. Now it really got to the point, I actually got concerned that I was going to make a mistake and they were going to swarm, because the day before I checked the bees, it was dusk, and there were probably 5,000 bees just bearding the face of this hive, and I thought, oh man, I waited too long. But I got in there on the 28th of June and I found 16 queen cells. It was crazy. The other 14 cells are on that little table there. I don't know, I probably already went past the footage where I show you, but the next time I pan over to that table where the smoker is, just to the right of the smoker, there are 14 of the queen cells that I scraped out. So during swarm season, I check the hive once a week, just because I can't afford to have a swarm like I did last year. So yeah, this should be an interesting prospect. I was going to have my friend Superfly Bee Guy make me another queen this year, but he's got his hands full with family and whatnot, and he's got like 20 hives, so I didn't want to bother him. So I figured I would delay my personal consumption of honey this year by splitting it. But by splitting it into a nuke, I'm only losing. See, there's the pile of old queen cells there. By splitting it into a nuke and not into a 10-frame box, I'm really only losing a quarter of the hive. So hopefully they'll still be able to rebound and make me lots of honey this year. We'll see. So there's the 3-stacker there, and 54 feet to the left is the nuke. I dropped all my little girls in there, and I closed them off for about 7 hours. And I was sure to disorient them by putting a big leafy branch in front of the entryway when I opened it. So they would be forced to fly around the branch and recognize that they were no longer in Kansas and they needed to reorient, which they did, which was a pretty neat sight. I should take a video of it. It's very cool when they fly out and just start flying in concentric circles. It's pretty neat. So just want to let you know where we were. We've got a new queen brewing in there. I'm going to check the hive on July 5th. I will take video with me and show you what's going on. Thank you for sticking with it. Gotta go, gotta run. See ya!